everybody. It's another episode of Jukebox Zeros. That guy's name is Pat.
Yeah, I am. I'm Pat, and that lady's name is Lils.
Yeah.
Wow. Why did we do that?
Before we get into this episode, Pat, there's like an elephant in the room I feel like we need to address super quick.
Is there now?
The whole Good Boys thing that we tried to do a while back. Like, at one point, we kind of decided that was the name of our fans, and then we were the Good Boys, and now we just don't bother doing it anymore.
That is true. We kind of moved away from that, but...
And it was just, like, never addressed at all.
Should we apologize for it?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We're sorry for that.
So should we bring it back?
No.
Okay.
If anything, we should just come up with a different name or just not bother.
I like Jukies.
Jukies?
Or boxers. I'm actually going to throw in another quick apology. So I'm going to apologize that the original guest...
yeah, I was about to bring that up.
The original guest, Bill Jackson, who was going to do this episode with us, unfortunately could not make it.
We're shouting him out because he suggested the album that we're doing today, though.
That's right. So maybe check out Bill Jackson when he comes on next year. We're going to make him do something really bad.
Yeah, he doesn't even know unless he's listening right now.
Oh, yeah, just you wait.
In his stead, however, we've got someone that's always delightful. A regular Jukebox Zeros All-Star has returned as Scott Kurland.
Hi, guys. Hello, my loves. I hate this album so fucking much.
I mean, at this point...
You're not wasting any time, are you?
You knew what this was at this point.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Can I make a suggestion for the fan names, considering I am one?
Okay.
The Juki Loos.
The Juki Loos.
Like Looky Loos.
So it sounds like we're just really need to get into this because
No.
Scott's not pulling a goof on like he has on so many other occasions here today. This album was really not very good. So let's just get in. So
Yeah.
it's not. You should know.
Yeah, but I created a new character that we'll get into.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, really? That's good because I have a feeling that there isn't going to be a whole lot of impressions going on here. I mean, granted, every single episode you've been a part of, we've introduced a new character.
Yeah, but we'll probably end up doing Davy Jones.
This will be the one where no characters are introduced whatsoever. Right, Corey?
Yep. Oh, yeah. He's still here.
Yep. And now you can go now. Okay.
Yeah, he likes Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, Pat likes to sort of sprinkle it all around the house and send him on scavenger hunts.
Yeah, I mean, it actually helps clean up the house a little bit. He kind of pushes it with his snout, things out of the way.
You hide the Cinnamon Toast Crunch under things that need to be dusted.
Yeah, exactly. And he also consumes the dust.
I'm shocked that Corey Feldman hasn't released a cover album of all Oasis songs called What's the Story, Morning Corey?
That feels like a lateral move to me. Anyway, the Monkees have certainly been an odd phenomenon throughout the over 50 years of their inception. The pop quartet, consisting of actors/musicians Mickey Dolenz, Michael Nesmith, Peter Tork, and Davy Jones, were initially brought together by television producers for an eponymous sitcom heavily inspired by the success of the Beatles film A Hard Day's Night. Though impressive musicians and songwriters in their own right, the Monkees' recorded music was largely written by professional songwriters and performed by session musicians for the first few years of their existence, during which point they scored many a radio hit, such as now iconic songs like Last Train to Clarksville and I'm not a fan of that.
No, because every time I would go to a Johnny Rockets, that would be playing like on a loop. Take that last train to Clarksville.
Oh, no, I know.
That's my Mickey Dolenz impression.
It's funny because, like, just before we started recording, we had a very long-winded discussion about family restaurants where we had incredibly harsh words for the 99.
Oh, yeah. Well, 99 almost killed my wife. Oh. The beef taco. Don't order the beef taco.
It comes with a gun.
It comes with a gun.
Yeah, that's not a good idea for a side dish whatsoever.
Put me in your mouth, I dare you.
Comes with a cold 45 that you can stick in your mouth as a nice after-dinner aperitif.
So anyway, this all occurred in the scope of 1966, the Monkee stuff, not the beef taco stuff. By 1967, next year, the band was fed up with the crushingly limited levels of creative control they'd been given. They wanted to be able to choose the songs they would perform and to be able to play the instruments themselves, and regularly clashed with their producer at the time, Don Kirshner, who initially kept the group under his thumb and shut them out of the production process. By 1967, however, Kirshner was cut loose from the group after violating an agreement involving releasing material, which left the band free to produce the music the way they saw fit and pick songs that they themselves would perform, which would come to include more major hits like Pleasant Valley Sunday and Daydream Believer. The Monkees' success was invariably tied to their self-titled TV show, but once the program was canceled, the group continued to record to dwindling commercial success into the 1970s, before calling it quits with Michael Nesmith and Peter Tork's departure. The group would reunite on and off as interest in the Monkees rose and fell. One such interest occurred in the mid-1980s when the burgeoning music channel MTV aired a marathon of the Monkees TV show, generating newfound interest in the group. They reunited, with the exception of an uninterested Michael Nesmith, to record a new album, 1987's Pull It! That's how it's spelled. It was their first full-length record in 17 years at the time of its release, and though the Monkees enjoyed great success as a live act throughout the 80s, their reunion album was neither a critical nor commercial success of any sort. If anything, it was considered a huge embarrassment to the group, and a complete squandering of all the newfound commercial clout that they'd attained.
Why?
Hey, do you guys like basically just George Harrison doing I Got My Mindset on You? Well, we have a Monkees album for you that's that exact same thing.
12 times.
Yeah, it's literally I Got My Mindset on You.
Rob Theakston of AllMusic.com probably put it most succinctly in his review of the record. This is normally the part of a review where the reviewer would advise the release for die-hard fans only, but I can't even suggest that, as no one should be subjected to such poor quality unless they're a collector or completist. Even then, it's best to keep Pull It in its original packing, if anything else, to increase the resale value. So yeah, not a very high opinion for this record.
Yeah, not getting a lot of love for Pull It. Why? What is that album title?
Pat. Show it some respect. It's pronounced Pull It!
Pull It!
I feel like the album cover just looks like the stock footage they use on To Catch a Predator. These three men, Peter, Mickey, and Davy, don't look like it, but they are perverts.
See, I thought it kind of looked like the cover of Slint's Spiderland. That was heavily inspired. I mean, they heavily inspired that record.
I mean, I wasn't going to get into that until later, but since you brought it up, yeah, before we get into the music, let's talk for a second about the cover art, which is basically the three Monkees, Tork, Dolenz, Davy Jones, looking very, very awkward in some inner tubes. And Davy Jones has just the most egregious 1980s mullet you've ever laid your eyes upon.
And I have the biggest erection that you've ever seen.
That's Davy Jones.
You can't see it because it's under the water.
I call her Sleepy Jean.
Oh boy. And just the big old grins on their faces as if to say, this is what relevancy looks like.
Come on, millennials. That's our target demographic.
So there are
millennials.
There are 12.
You got OK Boomer, OK Pooler. Am I right?
Hey,
where are you going?
How about ass? It's pretty tasty, right?
There are 12 tracks on this album, and Mickey Dolenz sings 5 of them.
He's really carrying the weight, I guess.
I mean, Davy Jones also sings 5 of them, too.
Yeah, but you expect Davy Jones because So you said that the Monkees TV show was basically Hard Day's Night or based on Hard Day's Night. It's like if A Hard Day's Night let itself go.
Yeah.
It's like, I got dumped. They don't love me anymore. I'm just going to eat all the ice cream.
Hard Day's Cream.
Also, it makes me so mad that Harry Nilsson wrote like most of the music for the first season of the Monkees.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lils knows how I feel about Harry Nilsson.
Oh, yes. Huge fan, you.
I love Harry Nilsson, and it makes me so upset that he wrote Cuddly Toys.
Touching back on the cover art real quick, it may not surprise you to learn that Pitchfork, those persnickety hipsters, called the album cover one of the absolute worst album covers of all time. I guess it is a cover album too, though.
Yeah.
Here's what they had to say about it in the article that they wrote for it, about the cover art.
Oh, no.
And I quote, "A water aerobics cover from an over-the-hill act, Pull It, might as well feature the band playing shuffleboard or leaning on walkers. The Monkees longed for creative control, and when they earned it, the world got Cocoon 3. As a transitive verb, the pooling being done in the title can only refer to the Monkees' shame. This picture should hang in A&R offices like those dangling cat posters in guidance counselor cubicles, warning bands of the dangers of hanging on to a dream.
I wish this was Cocoon 3. I wish Brian Dennehy replaced Michael Nesmith.
I'm Michael Nesmith.
I'm Mickey Dolenz and I have diabetes.
That's Wilford Brimley.
He was in Cocoon, right?
Yeah, but Brian Dennehy was the alien. Hey, it's me, Brian Dennehy, and I play the Hat.
The Hat. Yeah, I'm having pool it. What do you think that means?
No idea.
Okay, asked and answered. No, like really, what is? Why did they come up with that?
I have no clue
Is it
because
just completely random.
To pool is not like, I mean, it's a verb, but probably not the way that they meant for it to be used. Like pool as in pool your assets, and then like, oh, there's literally a pool on the cover.
Well,
what were you trying to go for?
They should have actually done the opposite and had them playing pool. You know, the tabletop game.
That would have been a much more classy.
But then,
yeah, that would have been much more tasteful.
Then you could say that, you know, the pool cues represented fallacies.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to appeal to children after all.
These music videos aired on Nickelodeon. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, we'll get to the music.
I didn't actually watch the music videos.
Oh yes, I have some notes on like the 2 music videos.
Yeah. All I have to say is fuck.
Sounds like we should just start getting into it then.
I guess so.
Let's jump into it with track number 1 titled Heart and Soul. So I'm going to try to put on my serious face for just a second.
Why does this remind me of John Anderson, like singing for some reason?
From Yes?
Yeah, exactly.
This feels like Starship.
Yeah, I was going to say like Starship meets 80s Yes.
So for all I don't know about the Monkees, what I do know is that even when they were at their commercial peak, their whole modus operandi came with a very subtle element of like quirkiness and irreverent playfulness, which I mean makes sense since they were like originally a sitcom band. Even after they got their independence, they started like leaning more progressively weirder and weirder material. If you've ever seen the movie Head, then you know that gives you a pretty good glimpse of that.
I have, and they're assholes.
I mean, it didn't always hit, but you could kind of tell that they were trying to be just a little bit more than just a bubblegum band. Now it's 1987 when this album was released, and we get this. The first single off the album, and it is bland as hell.
It feels like back in the 60s, they were trying to go for their demographic, the girls who were around their age, and now they're going for their daughters.
It's basically watered down Fleetwood Mac. That's what this song sounded the most like to me.
I mean, Fleetwood Mac were still operating during the 1980s, right?
Yeah, Gypsy came out around then.
87 was Tango in the Night.
Did they sound like this at all?
Actually, the production is similar.
This perfectly corporate plasticine piece of whatever this is.
Well, I think it's less Fleetwood Mac and it's more just Lindsey Buckingham Vacation. Like,
oh yeah,
this is just nothing but heart and soul.
Like if you didn't know that this was a Monkees album, you'd probably think that this was just some also-ran college rock band trying really, really hard to nip at the Cars' heels and just whiffing it horribly.
You guys like the Orleans?
Oh, God.
We're still the one, too.
No.
That's an Orleans song.
Right?
It's their only song.
So as with the majority of the Monkees albums, the band relies largely on professional songwriter ringers for their songs, and Pool It is no exception. The 2 credits on Heart and Soul are songwriters Andrew Howell and Simon Byrne. Out of curiosity, I looked them up on Discogs because I'm generally interested in that kind of stuff, and pretty much the only major credits they have of worth are all working on more Monkees songs.
Oh, no.
So, great.
I helped write the songs for the Monkees.
For them.
Pool It.
I mean, there's technically nothing wrong with this song from a practical standpoint.
No, it's a safe song. That's what it is.
It's perfectly competent, but that's really all it is. It has just no personality of its own whatsoever.
I didn't have a problem with this song because this felt like it should have been like the theme song for Mannequin. Like, Starship got the job. Mickey Dolenz goes into Paramount and he's like, hey, I got this song off of the new Monkees album. Oh, I'm sorry, you were late. Starship came in. God damn you, Starship.
And Starship just comes in with their leather jackets like, looks like you lost again.
Nothing's gonna stop us now.
We're knee deep in the hoopla.
So even though this song is pretty boring, it has the distinction of having been banned from MTV.
Oh.
Not for the content of its video, which is just a weird piece of whatever it is, with the band getting thawed out for having been like frozen in ice for some reason since the 1960s.
Yeah, it opens up with Last Train to Clarksville.
And having to figure out what the hell's going on in like the 1980s.
Do they have to pee for a really long time after they get out?
I don't think they filmed that bit, but no. I think it can be all but assumed.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, I think that's where Mike Myers got the idea for the Frozen block, because it looks exactly like them.
One thing I want to point out real quick, Michael Nesmith, who obviously was not in the band, not in the video, so I'm just going to assume that he just died in cryogenic freezing. And it's just not addressed.
I just picture that they're like pushing his thing and it shatters into a million pieces and his hat comes out and comes to life and be like, hey, where's Michael? Michael!
Mickey, we lost Michael. We lost his
That's
spice.
the character I created. It was Michael Nesmith's hat. I'm now the producer of the Monkees. I don't know why he sounds like Don Knotts.
Oh my god, his hat came to life in the cryogenic process.
Guys, where's Michael? Put him up.
Come on, guys, it's been decades. I want to see Mikey.
Who's gonna tell him?
Now it's not gonna be me, Mickey Dolenz. Yeah, I'm Peter Tork.
I'm Peter Tork, and I'm just happy to be here.
I'm Topanga's dad.
The Monkees.
Was he Topanga's dad?
Yeah, he was Topanga's dad.
Wow, I didn't.
It was him, then it was Michael McKean.
Oh boy.
So it went from being Peter Tork to being Lenny.
Anyway, this video was not banished from MTV for its content, but because MTV were being super duper petty. The Music Video Network had invited the band to perform at a Super Bowl party special they were throwing in 1987 after getting a lot of traction from their comeback single, That Was Then, This Is Now, which I have not listened to. And I don't have to.
We really don't have to.
But with this was a song that was very popular on the channel. There was a miscommunication between the band, however, leading MTV to believe that they had agreed to the performance when there was no way they could have done it, as many members would be out of the country by then. In petty revenge, yes, fleeing the country.
Oh God, guys, we gotta get away from Michael Nesmith's hat.
Oh no, I pulled the tag off the mattress again. That's still a crime, right?
Yeah, they pulled the tag off the mattress.
That actually sounds like that could be the synopsis of an actual Monkees episode. They pull the tag off the mattress and then they just flee the country thinking they're in danger.
Oh no.
Oh no, the police constable's here. Hey, it's me, Pat Boone.
Oh no, here come all the bobbies.
You know Pat Boone would be the special guest star as the police constable.
Oh, absolutely.
Why are you pulling the tag off of stuff?
I'm sorry, Constable Bobby. Constable Boone, please don't send me up the river.
No, I'm just gonna sing a song.
You guys want to inject this into your eyeballs?
That's not part of the script, Pat.
I know.
Remember, I'm a man of God. I'm God's sleeper agent. Tango Foxtrot.
Anyway, in petty revenge for being denied, MTV banned Heart and Soul from being played on the program, even though Monkees fans led a pretty big campaign to get the song aired, to the point where it even earned more weekly requests than songs by Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, and Los Lobos.
Oh, all those old ladies throwing their bloomers.
With the Monkees.
MTV still refused, however, leading the video to instead find an audience on Nickelodeon's short-lived music video program, Nick Rocks.
Ah.
So this uninteresting piece of audio with an admittedly kind of quirky music video joins the ranks of other Brandish videos like Happiness and Slavery by Nine Inch Nails, Erotica by Madonna, and Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy.
That is the saddest list.
Yeah, that's a real mixed bag.
It's just like, you know, the contrast between like all those, and then there's the Monkees just going like, hey, us too, right?
Yeah, we're just as good as Happiness and Slavery.
I don't know why I'm only doing an impression of Davy Jones, but it works.
Oh, please let me back on MTV.
I don't even know if that's an accurate Davy Jones impression.
No, it sounds more like Rocco, but I love it.
I'm sticking with it.
Wait a minute, Spunky.
What was it that you guys were saying about?
Oh, the Monkees tribute, the Monkees on Rocco's.
The Monkees equivalent for the show.
Oh yeah, the Bunkies.
The Bunkees.
Come on, Spunky, we're gonna go see the Bunkies.
I love them. They're my favorite band this week.
Hey, it's me. It's me, Dickie Mullins.
Dickie Mullins.
He's like a mole or something
Yeah.
like that.
And Wavy Jones. I also sound like Rocco.
They would all definitely voice themselves because you're going to make the money.
Yeah. Peter Tork.
Hi, I'm Peter Tork, and I'm still just happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Peter Tork.
I bet Peter Tork actually sounds like that guy from The Simpsons with the long legs. Are you making fun of my automobile?
Do you find something comical about my appearance when I'm playing bass guitar?
Wait, he played the bass guitar?
He played it on the TV show. It's ridiculous because he played the bass on the TV show. He normally plays guitar in real life.
Well, they all, except for Davy Jones, who plays the tambourine.
Yeah, they all pretty much play the exact wrong instrument except for Davy Jones.
Oh, Davy Jones.
I got it right, guys.
I don't know what the problem is. This is easy.
Why can't you assholes keep beat? Ding, ding.
Shika, 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 shika.
Oh, man.
Also, are we going to gloss over the fact that Davy Jones was on the fucking Brady Bunch?
He was?
Yeah, when he
I
was-
mean, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
He was in his like late 20s, early 30s, and
Was he one like a new cousin?
no,
Hello, it's me, cousin Davy Jones.
no.
Davy Jones Brady.
Marsha was in love with him and got him to come to her school dance.
Oh my god. He's like 30.
So he was a guest star, not a cast member.
Yes, he joined the ranks. Him and Vincent Price. So, Davy, are we gonna drive there? We gotta go see Marsha Brady.
Come, Mr. Jones, let us, two fully grown adults, go to this dance for teenagers.
It's me, your Uncle Vinny.
Watch as I toss this football at that unsuspecting Brady child.
Ow, my nose.
I like to think like Vincent Price just drove around with a tape of like only Sisters of Mercy, Floodland, and the Monster Mash. Just the Monster Mash.
and the Monsters thing.
Wait, in the 60s?
Yes. No, when he was like, no, because he was still alive in the 80s, like driving around.
Well,
That's true.
1991, I think, is when he died.
Yeah,
But
so
I
he was
picture-
around in
I
1987.
picture him driving around in a pink convertible, like a giant Cadillac, a pink Cadillac, with the Monsters theme playing. Ding, 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 ding,
I don't know. I like the sound of Vincent Price listening to Sisters of Mercy, though. Andrew Eldritch, you're the only one who understands.
I just picture him more listening to the Joy Division.
Sing this corrosion to me, Andrew.
Oh, Andrew.
Love will tear us apart.
Oh, Ian.
We haven't even gotten to song number 2.
Good.
Let's talk about song
Not,
number
this-
2.
not actually
Two.
song number 2 by not song number 2 by Blur. That would be terrible.
No.
If they covered that.
Yahoo.
Like 10 years before they wrote it.
It's Woohoo, but they would change it to Yahoo.
I know.
Yahoo!
I recall you getting especially angry over our group chat about this next song.
Yep.
And frankly, this
Sure
is
do.
this is disappointing. But this is track number 2. Parentheses, I'd go the whole wide world. best part about this is that Reckless Eric gets some royalty money. That's about it.
This is worse than the Cage the Elephant version. So
Wait, what?
Cage the Elephant does a cover of this.
Wait, what?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite songs
Somebody
of all
listens
time.
to this album besides us?
Reckless Eric's version of this is one of my favorite songs. I love it.
It is infinitely superior to this version in every facet.
It's perfect. It's a perfect song. And first off, why don't you have the fucking British guy singing this song?
Good point.
Like you have Mickey Dolenz, who, hey, I sound like you're, crazy drunk pervy aunt. Uncle. Why did I say pervy aunt?
It could be aunt.
Yeah, your
Hey,
aunt
I
from
woke.
your aunt from Malden. She's got a husky voice. She's seen some shit.
But he's like, hey, it's me, your Uncle Purvis.
Purpose.
Come and sit on Uncle Stink's lap.
Uncle Stink.
This track is so bad because it sounds like karaoke. The arrangement sounds like karaoke.
Yeah.
And then he sounds like your uncle who has boundary issues, who got too drunk, and he's like, come on, Sheila, sing with your Uncle Mickey. I go the whole wide world. Hey, who's this guy? Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. So you'd go the whole wide world just to find Sheila.
Nancy, come on, dance with me. I'd go the whole wide world. What? You didn't have enough Smirnoffs? I'd go to...
So you gave her smear.
Nancy's his wife.
Nancy Dolan.
Nancy's just off in the corner going like, that's nice, honey.
I'm getting a divorce, Mickey.
Pop another Xanax real quick.
I'm gonna
actually
go
know
fuck. I'm gonna go fuck Davy Jones.
Oh, boy. It's Davy's time to shine yet again.
I changed my mind. I'm gonna go fuck Peter instead.
I'll just lie there.
Hooray.
You get on top. You do what you do.
But
I'll
I'm
cry
Paul
afterwards.
McCartney.
And scene.
But of all the songs for them to cover, why would they go with this one?
I mean, my only guess is that...
It's an incredibly written song, obviously. and
Sure,
arranged.
I mean, but my thinking is that, like, just taking the whole album on its whole... The album as a whole just feels like this is the Monkees doing their Monkees thing, but not in the sense like they're doing like 60s power pop music, but they're doing pop music using whatever songwriters of the time that they think will hit.
But
Right.
I feel like they would go with Cheap Trick. Like, of all the bands,
That would work.
like, hey, I'm Mickey Dolenz and I want you to get me arrested.
Get Cheap Trick, get like Paul Weller or someone like that.
Yeah, can you picture them doing Surrender? Like, that makes more...
Get Prince to write a song for him. Why the hell not?
It's been 7 hours and Mickey years.
I met her masturbating to a magazine.
I would die for Monkees, the pool.
I would die for you.
God. This is Creature.
I'm not a Mickey. I'm not a Davy. I am something that you'll never understand.
Just like, touching back on like the last song, I feel like if you look at all the songs on Pull It closely, you can kind of make a connection to like the artist that they're trying to very pallidly knock off.
Yeah, like the first one is Starship or Journey.
This one, I mean, obviously they're trying to get the whole Reckless Eric scrappy pub punk thing going, but it's just so obviously not landing in the slightest.
Because Mickey Dolenz does not sound punkish. Once again, he's your embarrassing father or uncle.
What do you mean? You don't think he sounded like Rowdy Punk during that part where he went, yeah!
Oh, you took it as that? Because I took it as, yeah! They're arresting me!
Mickey Dolenz is a Muppet to you or something?
It's
Always.
time to play the Mickey. It's time to light the Mickey. It's time to get Mickey started.
So they're not puppets. They're real people.
I mean, they were puppets in a sense during the 1960s, but
You would never guess they were real people.
fair enough.
They're not real people. They're musicians.
He wasn't
It's
even
true.
They're
he
not
wasn't
real
even
musicians.
He wasn't even a real Mickey Dolenz wasn't even a real person when he was drinking with Alice Cooper in the Hollywood Vampires.
All I think of is The Simpsons. Ew, you like the Monkees? You know, that's not even his real hat.
No.
They were about rebellion. They were about fighting the establishment.
So I'll just close off on this one by saying there aren't even any good YouTube comments to share. Just a whole lot of people named Elaine and Doug spouting out about how this version is better than the original. It's not. It's very not.
I need addresses.
They should come on the show and defend it.
Yes, come on the show, YouTube users, Elaine and Doug.
Wait, are they two separate users?
Everyone named Elaine and Doug come on the program, and then we can just, process of elimination.
It's just the ghost of Elaine Stitch and Doug Benson.
Doug Benson's not dead.
Not yet.
No, it's
He is to
Julia
me.
Louis-Dreyfus and
And Billy West.
Billy.
Doug Funny.
Yeah, of course.
Dear Journal, the best song I've heard since the Beats is Reckless Eric's cover, or I should say, the Monkees.
Yeah, they definitely have the Monkees.
Gotta tie those worlds together.
Of course.
Oh man, a combined Rocco's Modern Life and Doug's cinematic universe is.
Dear
let's work on
Journal,
it.
I got kicked in the crotch by a wallaby today.
Why'd you come over and check out my alternate universe bridge, Doug? Very expensive.
Hello, Douglas.
Oh, Doug. That's Mrs. Bighead meeting Doug.
That's a good time to move on to track number 3.
Yeah, sure.
Track number 3, titled Long Way Home.
Say yes, say no, say that I'm grabbing shadows, but don't carve the words in stone. I know it's late, but can't you see I was only taking the long way home?
So if you're unfamiliar with the whole Monkees dynamic, generally the lead vocals were split between Jones, Mickey Dolenz, and Michael Nesmith, with the rare occasional one sung by Peter Tork. Davy Jones would be occasionally tasked with pop ballads, Dolenz with the more pop rock-oriented songs, Nesmith would fulfill singer-songwriter type pieces, while Tork would often sing on more experimental ones. Nesmith, as we mentioned, declined to participate in Pool It, so you're just going to hear a whole lot of Dolenz, Tork, and now Jones on this record, who is ballading the ever-loving ballad out of this ballad.
Where's Michael? I miss Michael. I'm so lonely on my bottom.
Oh no.
Because that's where a hat is.
It's cold here on the floor. I have no one to talk to but the dance floor.
Yeah, this song is very, very bad.
You're lucky you weren't here a couple hours ago when Green Jello played.
Oh no, where's Michael? Michael, I'm so scared. I missed your tussle hitting me right in the spot.
So this one was written by frequent Monkees collaborator Bobby Hart, who wrote Last Train to Clarksville, and
Fuck that guy.
and frequent writing partner Dick Eastman, who also wrote songs for New Edition, Nick Acosta, LaToya Jackson, and Mr. T. This is true. He wrote the song "Try" off of "Be Somebody" or "Be Somebody's Fool," which I could not find on YouTube,
I'll pity
much
the
to our
fool.
detriment.
Wow, I was gonna say we gotta hunt down that album. That sounds like a fucking
yeah.
future episode if I ever heard one.
It's just him doing covers of famous Broadway songs. No, 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 no way, fool. No, 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 no way.
McCavity. That's the only lyric I know.
Masquerade, masquerade. Doing the entire.
Cabaret, Luft Cabaret. Dude.
Here's the ballad of Mr. T. He was a fool and not me.
So it is absolutely ridiculous how just cloyingly 80s this Pat Benatar ripoff is. But
It sounds
worse
like
than
Air
that.
Supply, right?
every hallmark is there for your ears to suck up. There's a tinny Sound Blaster-like keyboard, reverb-heavy gated drums, clearly sampled pizzicato strings.
Oh yeah, a
It's
lot
all-
of DX7.
It sounds like it should be a parody of 80s ballads, but nope, it's played totally straight here.
And someone just pulling on the back of Davy Jones's mullet.
And And Jones's voice is just not right for it. Even like he's got that like. We've been kind of making fun of it the whole time. That sort of like nasally titty voice, and like just on top
Did you
of
just
this
say
ballad,
titty voice?
Tinny.
just like on top of this ballad, it just sounds like silly. It just sounds like this little goblin.
But also the song itself sounds like a guy remembering when he was in high school and he used to go to Lover's Lane for some 1950s heavy petting.
Oh yeah,
There we were in the back of my car.
Ooh, that's too heavy.
Took me
crushing me.
forever to get off of the sweater.
You're gonna knock me off of the table and onto the floor. I don't want the cat to pick me up again.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
he's so tiny.
Now that I think of it, getting back to what we were talking about Davy Jones being a tiny little imp, I can't decide now that I think of it whether this is an 80s pop ballad or like an 80s kids show song. Not like the kind you'd see on TV, but like one in one of those straight to VHS pilot only shows that you'd find in the bargain bin of Bradley's.
Where you find out, like, the episode is about a kid finding out that his grandparents died.
Oh yeah, this is like a reject from Kids Incorporated
Yeah.
for sure.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think this song should be sung by a family of cartoon marmots in the context of not talking to strangers.
Marmots. Those are chunky squirrels, by the way. Big old chunky squirrels. They're really cute.
I want to highlight one quick YouTube comment from user Victoria Sweat, which is the exact correct name for someone excited for 80s Monkees to have.
Sweaty Victoria,
no.
my favorite.
She says, and I quote, "If the right artist remade this, I think this could be a hit even today." I wish I had that kind of faith in anything.
Man, the confidence on this woman.
There's nothing about this that could translate to anything other than the 1980s.
There are so many current artists that could definitely do this. Michael Bolton, Kenny G, the ghost of Robert Goulet.
Michael Bublé.
Jimmy Bublé, Oliver Bublé,
Josh Groban. Josh
Groban.
Bublé.
Lady Bublé, Tartar Control Bublé,
Bublé Dry.
Bublé Dry.
Or as they call him, Michael Bubbly on SNL.
Bublé.
For Ham and Bubbly.
Let's move on to track number 4, shall we? I think you also had some particularly hateful words for this song, too, in our group chat.
I think so, if it's what I think it is.
Track number 4, titled Secret Heart.
Oh, fuck.
Key to my secret heart. Just turn the lock and we could be lovers after dark.
So what do we have here? We've got the Monkees doing synth pop, but not in a cool way like Depeche Mode or Pet Shop Boys, but just in like how the Moody Blues just completely whiffed it when they tried synth pop.
I kind of like this one. It's super corny and yachty.
Something
but
about the arrangement kind of reminds me of the theme song to Never Ending Story a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
it's disgusting. First off, I don't want to hold the key to Mickey Dolenz' Secret Heart, and I don't want to be his lover after dark.
I mean, I'm not listening to the lyrics. I'm just
Come
listening
on,
to the sassy
Nancy,
little
let's
guitar.
do it. You hold the key to my heart. I am leaving you. I
Is it
swear to
okay if my friend Davy watches? Hello.
God. Here I am in the corner.
I was hiding in the glove box the whole time.
I'm dressed as Superman. All I want to do is just watch you and hold my cape.
I mean,
Do you
clearly,
guys want pizza? Peter Tork. I'm pretty hungry.
I was in the trunk the whole time, but nobody noticed.
Wait, is he American or British?
He's American.
Oh,
Davy
sorry.
Jones is the only British guy.
Yeah, there's only one British
What?
guy.
I don't know very much about the Monkees.
Peter Tork is like
Understandable.
Peter Tork is like the Eeyore.
Well,
Okay, I guess I'll just go play my guitar and kill myself.
sounds like Brad Garrett.
Hello, Raymond. Deborah. See, I would like this song better if Ray Romano singing "You hold the key to my secret, Deborah."
Key to my heart.
Oh,
My
boy.
bum hurts.
I mean, I will just say, in theory, this isn't a bad song.
I think it's a slapper. I like this one.
None of these songs have been bad in theory.
Yeah, in theory, but when you realize that it's a 45-year-old man singing to basically 20-something women or like late teens, early 20s women.
Well, let's
'cause he's
think about his original fan base would have been like, what, kids in the 60s and the late
Yes,
60s?
the
So
60s
at this
equivalent
point,
of teeny boppers.
So like at this point, these people are in their like mid-20s or something?
No, they're in their 40s.
Well, that's... No, but like if they were kids in the 60s...
Oh, I'm talking about Dolenz and them.
No, but the fan base is like in their 20s.
30s. They're in their early 30s.
Early 30s, but also like they were trying to appeal to kids, so you're also getting like some older millennials, like later Gen Xers.
That's the creepy thing.
Yeah, that's the creepy thing.
It's like, so you're a babysitter now. How's your mom doing?
You girls 19?
No, we're 16. Okay, bye.
I heard 19.
Wait, there's two of you. Terrible. We're really sorry. We're very,
We are
very
just
sorry.
slandering
No,
Mickey.
but-
We are slandering Mickey Dolenz tonight.
Which I used to love Mickey Dolenz until I heard this album.
Wait, did this ruin the Monkees for you?
No, just ruined Mickey
Just
Dolenz.
Mickey Dolenz.
Because of the remaining, he's the only one I can get mad at because the other two are dead.
Oh, that's right.
Davy Jones and Peter Tork are dead.
I mean,
Him and
they're
Michael
still-
Nesmith.
Yeah, Michael Nesmith did not participate.
Yeah, they had a suicide
Where's
pact, right?
Michael? Guys, why did you make me the producer? I'm just a hat. I don't know sounds. Michael.
sweaty old hat.
I can keep the top of your head warm, but I can't touch your heart with a ballad.
And Mickey, please don't put me on your head. Your afro keeps popping me off.
Hey, don't take me off. We gotta put on headphones. You can put the headphones over
Don't put me back on Davy's head. His mullet is so greasy.
It keeps tickling my tack.
Come to Papa.
Oh no, not
We're gonna really
again.
rub it in. It's real nice. Get the grease in
we
there.
all know I belong on Peter. He was Michael's favorite. He didn't say anything.
Wow, how did I not know Davy Jones was the only British one? I feel like a fool now.
Because who cares? It's the
Who gives a
Monkees.
shit? Yeah, exactly. Like, not relevant to my generation at all. Although I was 3 when this came out. I was not really watching a lot of Nickelodeon yet. It wasn't as cool. They didn't have Nicktoons yet. It was all just like Bugs Bunny and like SNL.
You can't do that on
You
television.
can't do that on television.
that too.
And reruns of Dave the Gnome.
Oh, God.
David the Gnome.
What a depressing children's show.
I
ends
go,
with
I won't go back into the little rant we had when Christopher Brown did the Kiss episode.
That's right. This is not the first time we've touched upon David the Gnome.
David has some really troubling opinions on Palestine. I don't remember that from the show at all.
Do you remember how that show ends?
Yeah, they die.
They all die.
They go quietly into the night and turn into trees.
And do you remember the song that was playing? You hold the key to my secret heart. What if that was the song?
And
that
David was just like, let's die faster so we don't have to hear the song anymore. All that stuff aside, this is another song I feel like that is just competent to a fault. Like, it's just... I mean, never mind. There's no getting around all that stuff we just said. It's a bad song. I take it back. Bad song.
Because they're all singing, with the exception of Peter Tork, they're all singing like they're still 19 years old. They're still singing like they're these young bucks.
Yeah, singing is like
boy.
very immature, like not worldly lyrics.
Oh, boy. Speaking of Peter Tork, what do you say we get on to track number 5?
More like Peter Dork, am I right? I can't believe it took me this long. to
Hi,
say
I'm
that.
Peter Tork, and a dork is a whale's penis.
Did you know that? I bet it was the fact that you did not know.
Okay, bye. I don't know why
Dork.
he's Tina Belcher.
Dork rhymes with fork. Fork rhymes with
Pork.
spork.
Corey, Tori. allegory.
Spork rhymes.
Oh,
with
man,
Tork.
they had the Peter Tork hotline back in the 60s. You've reached 1-900-TORK. You're one...
It's not a recording, by the way. He really wants to talk to people.
I'm on the phone here, and I'm just taught my therapist said I just need to just keep talking, just keep getting the words out, and to not stop and just to say the first thing that comes to my head.
I have an evil inside me. It's a voice that tells me to kill and cleanse the innocent.
I can't seem to discern that voice from the one that's telling me that I got a song in my heart, and the two of them are starting to work in tandem with one another.
And the dog's been talking to me for days now.
Oh, you caught me at just the right time. I'm reading TV Guide. Let's see what's on tonight. 8 o'clock, Channel 7. Golden Girls. Blanche gets really horny.
Oh, I thought you were...
7:30. 7:30. 7:30. The A-Team.
Mr. T gets really horny.
8 o'clock.
God damn it, Hannibal! Man, I need to get my dick wet.
Here's...
All right, Pooh.
That's
Come here, Mad Dog.
This is where we get canceled. This is where the Zero Science Network cancels us.
Oh boy, that's what it feels like to get canceled. So that brings us to track number 5. Track number 5, titled "Getting In." Here's my single sentence characterization of this song. Peter Tork listened to Talking Heads nonstop prior to writing this, but absorbed none of the cool bits.
Oh yeah, this sounds exactly like something off the one that came after Speaking in Tongues.
Was that Naked or
Naked? Yeah,
It was Naked,
Or
yeah.
was it? Yeah, the one with Road to Nowhere on it.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
sounds like it could be that song.
Also, do you know what it
but
sounds
lamer.
like?
What does it sound like?
It sounds like Ghostbusters. And I Need a New Drug and pop music.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. That song does.
It's like a
have
mix between
that song
that.
does have a rich and storied pedigree, does it not?
Yeah.
I need a new drug in your neighborhood. I need to get into your heart.
I mean, those other songs don't have those inexplicable like background singers just hidden out of view going like Inspector Gadget.
You may ask yourself, how did I get here? You may ask yourself, Peter Tork, where is your beautiful wife? And I say, I don't have a beautiful wife because I'm Peter Tork.
You may
Hey,
ask
Peter, can I talk to Mike Nesmith now?
No, this is just my hotline.
You may ask yourself, where'd all the cracklin' oat bran go? I swear I bought a new box just the other day. If I didn't eat it, then someone else in this household must have eaten it.
But as I said before, I don't have a wife. God, I want a wife. Peter
Sometimes-
just goes into the closet and charges down. Beep, boop, doop.
Sometimes I pour myself a bowl of crackling oat bran and I pretend like I'm a little doggy eating this dog food. I wish I had a dog.
I'm just kidding. I do that because I do not own any silverware.
I'm so
Or
lonely.
milk.
And I'm far too depressed to go get some for myself.
I like to go to the mall and go into the women's bathroom and cry.
I don't own any milk.
While eating cracklin' oat bran.
I'm sorry, but Peter Tork looks like a guy who, even when he died, he looked like he belonged in the 70s.
The Grim Reaper just comes to whisk him away. And it's just like, the time has come, Peter. Oh, okay.
All right. Am I going to hell?
That
No,
sounds
you're
about
going
right.
to heaven. I'm
You're
shocked.
You're going to neither. You're going to purgatory. That tracks.
He just looks like the type of guy who, when everyone leaves a room, he just sits there with his hands on his lap and he just looks straight ahead and doesn't say anything.
just after like a couple of seconds of silence, everyone's already left to the next room and going on to their own stuff. He just looks around at the nothingness in the room and just goes, "So, what else?"
With no one else in the room.
Do you know?
All right, Peter, what else?
I mean, if there's at least one thing that Tork can be credited with on Pool It, it's that he's the only Monkee that actually plays an instrument on one of the tracks.
Yeah, and also, I actually like this song. It's not terrible.
I mean, there's probably a good reason for that, because he fucking wrote it and didn't rely on a ringer.
And it sounds like a Talking Head song. Like,
yeah, like everything's there. The David Byrne cadence, all the quirky synth and stuff. It's not totally reaching it, but it's not terrible.
and the fact that he kidnapped the Tom Tom Club.
Yes.
Can they all write, or just Peter?
I think they all write. I don't know
Davy. I never learned how to read or write. They handed me a tambourine and they said, "Go to town, Davy."
That's where you're wrong, Scott. There is a track on here that Davy Jones wrote.
In crayon?
Yes.
When I was a baby, they handed me
I
a
wrote it
tambourine.
on the back of a Ritz cracker.
The magically delicious.
Want to move on to track number 6? Speaking of Davy Jones.
Oh,
Sure.
man, we're going down to the locker?
Oofa doofa, this track. Track number 6, titled, parentheses, I'll love you forever. That didn't need to be parenthesized. Here's a track.
If you ever change your mind, think again and give me time. For you're my first love, you are my last love, you're my forever.
Hoo boy. See,
I could just, for some reason, picture this, I don't even know, sung at a late night karaoke room.
See, I'm thinking this is like an 80s Christian pop song.
This is the
Like you'd hear this at a revival or something like that.
This is the song when the police get an anonymous call that someone's going to hurt themselves. They break into the house and the guy's head's already in the oven.
God, and this song is just blasting.
Yeah. They're like, "No, Peter Tork, you have a lot to live for."
Again,
I don't know if that's true.
we haven't confirmed that. We've still got to go down to the lab. So, like the other ballad that Davey did, like this is painfully 80s with that fucking DX piano is disgusting.
I mean, that last one was 80s. This one is 80s.
Yeah, there's no getting around that piano tone.
It's 80s with just a big, sparkly purple leisure suit.
It's an awkward kick to the balls.
It's an Aquanet nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, just a bunch
Covered
of
in
wimpies. Covered in bangles?
And Urkelos, I don't know. That was 90s. What am I doing?
Yeah. Hey, is Peter Tork still reading the TV guide?
No, he's moved on to baseball scores now.
8 o'clock. The New York Mets get horny.
Come on, New York goofball. We need to get our ball. Never mind, I'm not going there.
George Steinbrenner gets horny.
I mean, I guess I should give
New
this...
York Yankees.
I know.
The New York Yankees get horny. That's their album.
The Philadelphia Eagles get horny.
Come on, polish our
See,
balls.
You say an album, I picture more of a Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park special. Like the Yankees try to save Valentine's Day or something.
I was trying to say Valentine's Day.
Mattingly, cut those sideburns. And please put some pants on.
So,
Like Derek Jeter going to... Oh, I guess he wasn't on the team in the 90s.
Yeah,
but like-
this would have been Don Mattingly and like Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah.
Daryl.
It's just like Daryl be like, "Oh, those people out there, they're not horny today. It's just wrong. It's just wrong."
are you better than me, Daryl? Well, I've only just met you, but yeah. So, if I should give this song credit for anything, it's that it's the first one to generate a legit emotional response from me.
Pure rage.
If all the previous songs before this were just okay and not much to speak of, this one is straight up stupid for how schmaltzy it is. I mean, that was kind of the sound of the day, to be fair, for the teen idols of Jones' 1960s commercial peak. But by this point, he would have been like 42 years old. And the words coming out of his mouth would sound over the top for a 16-year-old. But I mean, like, if it works for Rivers Cuomo, I mean...
Dragging that asshole's name through the dirt. I don't care. Fuck that guy.
Ooh, he looks just like Buddy Holly. Or like Jerry Lee Lewis.
Looks just like Ben Shapiro. He looks just like Ben Shapiro.
You know what? That's epic.
That's epic.
As a side note, Pool It is an album produced by a guy by the name of Roger Bakerian. I have no idea if I pronounced it correctly.
You are.
Who has credits on some real 1980s gems that have stood the test of time. Records like This Year's Model by Elvis Costello, The Undertones self-titled debut, and East Side Story by Squeeze. What the hell happened?
Yeah, that's a weird jump.
What changed to make Bakerian think that this treacly schlock is acceptable by his standards?
I'm guessing that after working with Elvis Costello, he realized he was an imposter.
I'm going to say Graham Parker didn't return his phone calls or something.
I like Graham Parker.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like Elvis Costello, Squeeze, like you'd think someone in the same...
Nick Lowe called him a wanker or something.
I'm waiting to hear back from Tears for Fears, and they keep telling me to go fuck myself.
Oh, man.
Once again, hear Roland Ozerball just say, go fuck yourself over and over and over.
Once again, with the over-the-top sugary 1980s ballad arrangements and how the word love is pretty much every other line in the lyrics, it's just, you gotta be kidding with this. This is like sweaty, fat preacher music. Like Davy Jones is singing to a kid in leg braces.
He's singing to Forrest Gump.
Not those kind of braces.
You'll die forever.
I thought you said leg braces.
Jesus. I said leg braces.
Yeah, he said
he did say leg braces. I thought you
run,
thinking like actual...
Forrest, run. Johnny's never gonna love
salvation. Have you guys had enough Davy Jones?
I'm ready to move on to the other Monkee.
Davy Jones song.
Too bad. Here's another Davy Jones song.
I know.
Track number 7, the other big single off the album. Track number 7, titled Every Step of the Way.
Life is illusion, guys.
I disagree. I'm pumped up after hearing that one. I'm ready to take on the universe.
It may surprise you to learn that this one was originally an Ian Hunter song, who shares a writing credit with it with Uriah Heep guitarist Mark Clark. But it just sounds like, lame Electric Avenue to me.
Yeah, it's more Starship / 80s Cher or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
If I could turn back Davy.
It's even got a 1980s saxophone solo in it, too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was the best part, of course.
So, as this one was a single, it also came with a music video, which debuted...
a bad music video.
It debuted on Nick Rocks in November 1987. And again, MTV is crazy petty. This one got banned. It doesn't have a story of its banishment attached to it, but the video itself is pretty dumb. It's got the 3 monkeys wandering around in an alleyway looking for a girl to return her scarf, all the while being goofballs in the most people in their 40s in the 1980s kind of way.
And is this where Chris Hansen comes back and be like, so you were looking for a lady to return her scarf?
Here's the only legitimately entertaining thing about this whole album, though. The video ends with these sort of absurdist "Where are they now?" subtitles. Here's what it says. They never saw the girl again. She moved to Farmers Branch, Texas, and married an endodontist. In April 1991, Peter was electrocuted while on stage at Carnegie Hall. He now works as a traffic lamp in Phoenix. At 45, Davy had a leg transplant and was drafted by the Boston Celtics, where he was voted MVP for 3 years running. Shortly after the completion of this video, Mickey was committed to the Institution for the Terminally Zoned. Contributions are welcomed.
terminally zoned?
This is kind of funny, I guess.
No, absolutely not. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, you think Larry Bird would let him on the team?
Guys, I can play the basketballs.
Oh, well, I think you should just sit on the bench.
There's no rules in the rule book that say gremlins can't play. I'm good.
But you gotta follow the fundamentals. It's me, Larry Bird.
Is that what Larry Bird sounds like?
Kind of, yeah.
Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
I really take the game seriously. What's the matter, guys? Come on.
They just whined at every practice.
Oh, boy.
Davey, do you want me to give you a ride to the park?
So this song's really boring, and I have nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, I got nothing to say every step of the way.
It's generic 1980s pop. Nothing more to say about that.
No, it's incredibly boring. It's one of the most boring tracks, except for the last 3 tracks.
Oh, boy.
This song is like Melba Toast, the album. It's boring, and it goes okay with cream cheese.
I like Melba Toast, guys.
I think this is probably one of the better Jones songs. Though,
I was like,
far.
are you about to say this is your favorite track on the
No,
album?
absolutely not. No, it's
All
really
right,
stupid
bye.
and corny. But I think it's better than the other 2 ballads.
I just
that I've
realized
heard.
something. Peter Tork and Ray Wilson could be friends.
Oh, that would be so cute.
Hey Ray, do you want to read the TV guide with me?
Okay. That sounds like a good time. 9 o'clock.
Knight Rider. Kit the car gets really horny. Michael, please fill my
Chicago.
gas tank.
Chicago bests Boston 16-3. Philadelphia beats Hawaii 10-2. He's just saying
Hawaii
random. No, exactly. Just saying random locations.
Can I read the next one, Peter?
Go ahead.
I don't know. Do you think you can handle it? No.
Let me do the next couple ones, okay, buddy?
10
Until you feel
o'clock.
comfortable.
Rerun. American Bandstand.
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark is super fucking horny.
Oh, man.
I can't believe they printed that word.
Hey, I'm Dick Clark, and here comes the Doors. Come on, Jimmy. Let's get it on.
This is an interesting parallel universe we've created.
I still want to see the A-Team.
Mr. T gets real fucking horny.
This is helping us get through the album a lot more easy. Anyway, we're on to track number 8. This one titled Don't Bring Me Down. Not a cover of the Electric Light Orchestra song, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know.
Isn't this a cover of Tommy James and the Chandels?
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Tommy James minus the Chandels.
Surprised they didn't get a Jeff Lynne song on here.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Telephone line.
Here's the track.
I was loving you when we were alone, but you had other ideas of your own. Word gets around. Don't bring me down.
This one's okay, I guess.
Nope.
No, you disagree? I mean, I dislike this one a lot less than some of the other ones that we've come across.
It sounds like the theme song to, like, Baywatch. Baywatch, Hawaii.
It kind of reminded me of that Oingo Boingo track Stay, except clearly not as good.
Did you just compare Mickey Dolenz to Danny Elfman? Yeah, okay, I'm leaving.
We just did it.
Hey, Danny, can I write the next track for Batman?
I feel like,
No.
I mean, if nothing else, I feel like this probably could have been at least a better single than Every Step of the Way.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it was bland, but I don't know. Is it like a bit more exciting than the first track? I thought it's definitely better than the opening track, which I believe that was the first single, right?
Yeah, Heart and Soul.
Can I blow your mind?
Go
So
for it.
Tim Burton, when he was going to do Batman 3, when he was going to direct the third Batman movie before they fired him,
Before they brought
Yeah.
Joel Schumacher in.
yeah, he was going to cast Mickey Dolenz as the Riddler.
Oh, no.
Hey, riddle me this! Oh, I'm so sad and lonely.
I mean, they could have gotten him for way cheaper than Jim Carrey.
All the Tick voice acting money dried up.
It went on my nose. So much cocaine.
I don't mean I bought cocaine. I shoved it up my nose.
Yeah, Mickey Dolenz looks like the type of guy to take $20 and shove it up his nostrils.
That's where my
Congratulations,
piggy
Mickey.
bank
Here's
is.
your paycheck. Oh, boy. Why would you do that, Mickey? Goodbye.
I'm a human piggy bank.
I got mobile deposit in my nose.
Has that been invented yet? I'm inventing it now.
Bank of America is just like, we did not invent this yet. Don't listen to Mickey Dolenz.
You take your paycheck and insert it into your nostril.
Oh, I just realized something. When I said that Peter Tork was Topanga's dad, there's an episode where all the Monkees, except for Michael Nesmith, where's Michael? Michael, please answer my calls. My yarn's coming out. But all of the Monkees were on Boy Meets World because Mickey Dolenz plays the dad's best friend, and then Davy Jones has no relation to them, and they're like, we need to get Davy in here somewhere, and he just shows up and he's like, remember when we were backpacking through Europe and you said, when we're older you can stay at our house, and he shows up.
I bet Michael would have shown up if we were on Step by Step.
No, I wouldn't have. Michael! Yeah, fuck you.
And I'm Patrick Duffy. Why not?
And I'm Suzanne Summers. Step by step. Jesus
Fuck that shit. Fuck Cody.
Yeah, Michael Nesmith's like, I'll only be on Perfect Strangers or nothing. Don't be ridiculous. Michael Nesmith.
Let's move on to track number 9, shall we?
Yes.
Track number 9, the gritty track. Track number 9, Midnight, brackets, When It All Comes Down. These guys, they just love their parentheses.
Get ready.
I'm calling it now. This is the Journey knockoff. They're ripping off Journey for sure.
So when you play Lils at industrial clubs, is this the music you're playing?
God, no.
I'm joking.
I don't know. I think it's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
We're all grooving along to it. We're all shaking the buns.
Yeah. Why are we wearing this gimp mask?
Like it's clearly it's a corny 80s track, but I thought it was like pretty well arranged, and like for what it was, like I got some enjoyment out of it.
I feel like you're being much nicer to this album than Scott and I are.
Oh, absolutely. I'm being way too nice to this record.
This is the album. So this track is the track like in an 80s teen movie when the, volleyball playing dog is being trained by the other guy.
See, I pictured
Elias Koteas.
See, I pictured like, the lead character, the huge dork in the school, is like finally facing, the school bully, and just like this is the montage where he's preparing for it and just
By doing steroids.
and just yes.
He's just clicking the needle and just putting it into his butt.
There's like a full straight minute of him completely just goofing up every single attempt to exercise, and he's just like, "Oh right, steroids. Those haven't been made illegal yet."
Oh, thanks, special, guide Jose Canseco.
Thanks, special guest Rocket's Red Glare. So what we have in this song, if the lyrics are anything to read into, we have a nameless couple, a boy and a girl. The boy is willing to do anything to get a good life for the girl. Both are struggling in this hypothetical 1980s urban hellscape, and then something illicit happens that the song doesn't get into, whether it's like a drug deal or a heist or whatever have you. But basically the boy ends up dead in the water with the song declaring they never even knew his name, and his bravery won't help him now.
I feel like the Monkees tried listening to Springsteen and write a Springsteen song, but they couldn't do it.
Hey, let's write a song about a river.
That kind of makes sense. Like they tried to go for working class, but they overshot and just like, what's a working class person? A drug dealer. Let's talk about that.
And then they die. That's what working class people do. They die. Tragic deaths, right?
Hey, do you think we can get, Clarence Clemens on the album? Where's Michael?
Why won't you guys get Michael?
Mickey, please take me out of your crotch. No one's buying the bulge.
Davy, you gotta listen to me. Are we still hanging around this talking hat?
Yes. Please.
I'm not just a talking hat.
I don't know why we made him sound like Toby Determined.
I'm fine with that. I like to imagine he's voiced by Neil Hamburger.
Yeah. Please tell me where Michael is.
Why did Michael take me off his head?
You bunch of zipper lips.
Why did he take me off his head?
I still can't believe Neil Hamburger was
Because
in
children
Ant-Man
get
versus
cancer
Wasp.
sometimes.
I still can't believe Neil Hamburger was in Ant-Man versus the Wasp. Or Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man versus the Wasp.
I was.
Yeah, he was. He plays the owner of a Baskin and Robbins.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's like, I
In
looked into
character?
your... No. He's like, I looked into your file and you're a criminal. You lied to me, but it's cool. You did a crime, a cool crime.
That sounds like something Peter Tork would say. You did a crime. That's cool.
Awesome. Coming up at 10:30, Night Court. Bull
I
gets
thought
horny.
11:30, the McLaughlin Group. Pat Buchanan gets horny. Everyone wishes he would stop.
I'm not gonna stop. Where's Mr. T?
Let.
C-SPAN. It's the Menendez brothers' trial.
The Menendez brothers get really horny.
And kill their parents.
So I really don't want to move on to the next song
Neither
because
do I, but-
I really, really hate it a lot.
I
won't even beat around the bush on that. This song is trash. On an already trashy album, this song is trash almighty.
It's just, it's a perfect storm of trash.
But I guess we have to move on to it. I guess. Here's track number 10, another Davy Jones song titled She's Moving In with Rico.
Oh.
Everybody's hero. She's moving in with Rico, and she don't need me no more. We stood by the door, and she put a hand in mine.
And you thought white people in the 1980s doing reggae couldn't get worse than UB40.
Or David Bowie, for that matter.
This is the Asia track. This is the heat of the moment.
I kind of get a Police vibe from it, except
really?
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely has like a
mean,
reggae feel to it. That's
I
what they're
would
trying
classify this as not quite Smash Mouth Roadman bad, but by far worse than David Bowie Don't Look Down.
to do. It's teetering towards Roadman territory, but it almost gets there. I think if he did a way more effective accent, it would have been even worse.
Yeah, to Davy Jones's credit, there is a distinct lack of him going brah cha 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 on it.
This sounds like it belonged in like Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, totally.
Bernie's dead. She's moving in with Rico.
This needs to be like during the opening credits, and there's like an animation happening of
Yeah.
his lady moving in with Rico.
And he's
him
just
just
dead.
going-
Well, he's dead, so the animated hands of Jonathan Silverman and Andrew McCarthy have to put their hands to his dead body.
Oh yeah, they have to make him look surprised. Hey, no, he's dead. All right, no, we need to lift up his hands.
She's moving in with Rico.
So
I don't know where I was fucking going.
to my surprise, this one is the first Monkees track off of Pool It, not to feature wall-to-wall praise in the YouTube comments section. Every other video I've referred to has featured comments exclusively populated by superfans, like the one who thought, what was it, either Long Way Home or I'll Love You Forever could be a pop song today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's got that timeless quality to it.
Yeah, but watch, this ends up being the one that is remade today. Like Postmodern Jukebox.
Oh boy, no! Don't give them ideas.
No, they're not going to make a fucking Monkees movie with the like in the style of a Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man.
Oh my god, I kind of want to see that a Monkees one. How are we going to write our next song? Davy's asleep. Wake up, Sleepy Jean. I got an idea, guys.
That's like how all those movies are too. They're like they.
What if we paid a songwriter to write a song called that?
Hey, we have this talented guy named Harry Nilsson. You guys got any heroin?
Lots.
Okay, I also need cocaine and a Popeye cartoon.
All right, Rick and Company, you have the band.
Hey guys, meet my friend Neil Diamond. Hello, I'm sure we'll never meet ever again. But yeah, apparently even Monkees fans don't particularly like Moving In with Rico, calling the Andrew Howell penned track one of the worst things the band has ever recorded.
Oh, yeah.
Equally prevalent are comments from people responding to the claim that Moving In with Rico is the worst, with variations of, that's not true, what about Just Us, their 1990s era reunion album that apparently is even worse than this.
Whoa, they have a reunion album in the 90s too?
Yeah,
released
in 1996, it actually has the distinction of having Mike Nesmith on the record. You came back, Mike!
Michael, I missed you.
A happy ending after all.
And it's the only record in which every track is written exclusively by the band members with no outside songwriters.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Michael, why are you lighting me on fire? Ow, 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 ow.
Which is maybe why people hate it so much.
Because they can't
Michael
write.
Nesmith.
I mean, future episode, or do we just not give a shit?
I could not possibly give a shit about the Monkees.
Fair enough.
I still
I'd
don't.
rather do another Corey Feldman album.
Has he got any new ones coming out? We got to fundraise his next album.
Yeah.
I don't know. Corey,
Get that Indiegogo campaign rolling.
Corey's been messing around on my computer, though. I think he's been making beats.
Guys, his computer's covered in Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No, all right. I got to go take care of this guy. Hold on.
I don't think that Cinnamon Toast Crunch was on the computer. I'm pretty sure you took it off the floor and put it on the computer so that you could play with it.
And somebody opened up all of these Monkee songs. I don't like the Monkees.
I'm playing Galactic Pinball.
That's not making music, Corey.
Pew, pew.
Look out for the quasars.
I got 100 space points.
All right, that's real good. That's more than yesterday.
Yep, that's very. I'm very proud of you, Corey. Really? No.
I had negative 1,000 yesterday. I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah.
All I did was hit enter, and the game just said no.
Oh boy.
Track number 11. Let's move on to that. This one titled "Since You Went Away."
Could be that you were right and you had to fly the coop. Could be the eagle finally has landed. Cause the plants have grown, the dog came home, the bills are all getting paid. Things are much better since you went away. And I've changed my...
Another Peter Tork song, and I gotta say the bland okayness of this track is almost a relief after the white guy reggae party of the previous track.
This sounded like a Monkees song, probably the most.
It also sounded like our house.
A little bit of that, too.
Yeah.
Like Peter Tork finally put down Talking Heads to listen to some madness and two-tone.
Yes. Yep.
So Peter Tork is kind of like making me think he's like the Ace Frehley of the group too, because he's just like he's singing with like not much vocalist flair in this song. It kind of just sounds like he's saying things.
My Grand Slam was supposed to come with sausage.
No problem, Star Child. I'll use my psychic powers to bend the bars.
Coming up at 8 a.m. Monkees. Hey, I know those guys. Peter Tork gets really horny. Yay.
Monkees reunion. Michael Nesmith, Mickey Dolenz, and Davy Jones. What? What? They get horny?
Tonight on VH1, Classic Albums presents
Wait,
Steely
that's
Dan's
tonight.
Asia. Donald Fagen gets real horny.
And everyone's okay with it.
we play Michael McDonald's backing tracks, and oh boy, he's just rock hard this whole time.
Michael's got a big erection.
You know what? We don't have time to dwell on this yet because we're finally at track number 12, the last track on the album.
Wow.
But don't get too comfortable. It's another ridiculously doofy ballad from Davy Jones.
Yay, I get to shine.
One last time, Davy, before you die.
Track number 12, titled Counting on You.
And I'm counting on you to be here through it all. I'm counting on you to catch me if I fall. Whatever you do.
This is an album for children, right?
I'm sorry. Did I say Davy Jones? I meant Paul Williams.
God, this is
Where are
so,
the Muppets?
like this is an album for children, right? And this is just like this is just such like old grandma music.
Oh boy.
Like if I were a child, I'd be pissed off that this song was on here. I'd be like, give this to grandma.
This sounds like the love song that plays at a stereotypical like 80s prom, and the girl's like, "We're gonna get married, right, Tommy?" Yeah, we should probably talk.
There's a section in the song where he like really gives the numbers as a metaphor for love thing a run for its money, just going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He should have kept going.
13,
Exactly.
14, 15.
I
16,
know
17,
how
18,
to
19,
count.
31, 32. Wow, guys, these songs writes itself,
What I would love to hear is like Peter Tork and Mickey Dolenz coming into the booth. Hey guys, what are you doing? I'm recording my song. Yeah, we need you to cut the mullet. No, and they're just holding him down, and the sad music's playing, and they're cutting his mullet. He's like, no, please don't. It's my thing.
No, you promised. You're breaking your promise.
Wesley Willis's "Cut the Mullet" is playing in the background. Get that motherfucking rat's nest off your skull.
Come on, Davy. We're doing this because because we love you. No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're just horny.
You're right. I don't love you. I'm just real horny.
Peter Tork's time to shine.
You think I like doing this? Of course I don't. It's keeping me from my Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Tonight on the Monkees, Peter Tork
Gets his own.
gets zone.
It's
They're
fine.
about to find out why they call me Peter Tork. Torque.
At 9 a.m.
He just
Rocco's Modern Life.
just-
Spunky gets really horny.
Just
Oh
ri-
no, Spunky!
He just rides in on a custom motorcycle. Wee.
Going
why-
down the country.
this is why they-
Here I come.
This is why they call me Peter Tork with a Q.
Horsepower.
Nobody's gonna take my car, gonna cheat it to the end.
I just hear a voiceover by Sam Elliott. Peter Tork drives his car. It's a motorcycle. Sorry. Peter Tork rides his motorcycle.
And
Built
he
Ford
was
Ram.
he was never heard from again.
La 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 la.
We're finally over.
Yes.
I have a feeling I know the answer, but to get to our final thoughts, do you consider this a worst of all time album, Pat?
I think I'm going to be in the minority here and say no. I don't know. Like the some of the songs were kind of well written, and I mean it was stupid. It was obnoxious as hell. But I found like a few moments that I didn't hate on this record. I can't call it the worst of all time.
Scott, same question. I already know the answer.
Actually, no, you don't. I don't find this to be one of the worst albums.
Really?
Because the fact that I like 2 songs makes it not one of the worst.
Yay, we actually got one with some good songs on it for you.
Yeah, I mean, sadly,
Some.
2.
There were good songs on Tonight.
Yeah,
A few.
I mean, there's no bad
yeah,
people
but on that one,
this
I said
record.
that album wasn't bad either.
That's true, yeah.
Is that what say bad people?
You know what they say about bad people?
Corey,
Bad people.
Corey, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh boy!
Go get it.
Okay.
He's a hungry little bugger.
Door stuck. It's almost like you locked it or something. Hello?
Yeah, just keep eating your crunch.
Oh,
okay?
look, a friendly possum. He's not friendly, guys.
Hey, Corey, there's some peanut butter in the faucet.
Oh, boy. Wait, the faucet's inside.
Yeah, it's like an escape room puzzle. Figure it out.
Ooh, fun.
I'm so glad he's living here this season. It's an interesting character arc.
Yeah, that I hope that's not a drain on you and Gina.
It's not too bad. I mean, like I said, he mostly eats Cinnamon Toast Crunch and dust.
There's no way he's paying rent.
No, he lives off of dust. It's interesting.
He lives in a cardboard box, right?
Wills, was this worst album of all time? What do you think?
I can't go all the way and call it worst of all time material, but there's no question that this is not a good album. Its badness is rooted entirely in how boring and uninteresting it is, and I don't know if that's enough to qualify as, like, you know, putting it alongside, you know, premium grade, just terrible albums. I mean, I don't know if there's any saving this album, but the first thing I would do is to just stop trend chasing, like they were clearly doing in the 1980s. Just do what we were talking about. Get like Paul Weller and like Cheap Trick and some, you know, much better songwriters.
I guess like I don't quite understand what they were. Who were they trying to appeal to? Was it kids or their old fan base? It's like not really clear.
I mean,
right?
kids would make sense considering how popular they got on through Nickelodeon.
Right, but like,
yeah, but that's weird.
Yeah,
but like, why were they popular? Why were they popular in the first place? Because they were cute
because
and they played
Beatlemania.
Beatlemania, right?
Right.
So, like, what was it about this time around that like made them connect?
Well, did you ever see there was a VH1 made-for-TV movie about the Monkees?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the 2000s, early 2000s. I never saw it, but I remember it.
It had the guy who played one of the Bash brothers from the Mighty Ducks, D2.
Huh.
Aaron Lohr played Mickey Dolenz, and I guess Mickey Dolenz had a huge cocaine problem.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me considering what a complete total drink hound he became after the Monkees were over.
Right. They're like, I just remember the guy who played Davy Jones is like, why can't we record anything because you're always high? That was the soundbite they used.
Well, you just answered your own question there, Davy. Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, they were big because there were the girls who were like Beatles mania. But then they were also huge because I guess they were the cheap version of the Beatles.
That's what they were, but they were like also supposed to be like an improvement on the Beatles in some way because they were bringing in external songwriters and like trying to create a product that like
that's
wasn't
the thing.
susceptible.
I don't know if they were better than the Beatles, but they were certainly like intended specifically to be like a marketing thing.
Oh, that's what I mean. Not better, like better in like the scope of capitalism, like
right, better
like,
in a business sense.
Right, exactly. It was a more more hands put into it and more like we're not just relying on like 4 musicians. Like we can bring in people like in case one of them gets a cocaine habit like Michael Nesmith did.
I mean, in that sense, they kind of paved the way for other, manufactured soulless acts.
Oh, absolutely. This was like a huge turning point for the music industry. Yeah. Absolutely.
No Monkees, no New Kids on the Block, no NSYNC, no Justin Bieber.
Yeah. It's so weird that I was on for this one because we just did That Thing You Do.
Oh yeah,
with the Oneaters.
Yeah, with Rock Candy. But that's like the Monkees kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean they were
a little
sort
bit.
of. I mean they were kind of more doing this like jangle pop thing that was.
So wait, like I thought they were a band before they got big though. The Monkees were specifically formed to be a band for a sitcom.
But the movie is like in that era of Beatles mania, Monkee mania.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
So like
also Roger Bakarian, what the fuck? You did production for The Jam and Flamin' Groovies. This should have been a slam dunk for you. Get it together, man. If you're still alive, I don't know if you're still alive or not.
Also, a part of the problem with all of the tracks is I just picture them walking and running in fast motion like they do in the music videos, like it's a Monkees album. I mean, a Monkees TV show episode, not album.
Yeah.
This is a
Chased
Monkees
around
album.
by
Yeah, I could see
goblins
that.
and skeletons. Oh wait, that's Scooby Doo.
I'm sure there was a Monkees episode about that.
Do you think they had an
Scooby, you ate all of my sandwiches and this giant bar of chocolate. We should probably take you to the vet.
Now, why don't they ever talk about the actual monkey that was in the band?
There was an actual monkey in the band.
Is it like
I don't know.
Is it like
I'm just putting it out there.
Is it like
no
a-
one ever addressed it?
is it like a Friends thing where there was only a monkey in the first season?
Oh, there was. I've never watched most of that show.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the best or least bad track on this album, Pat?
I liked Midnight. I liked that song.
Same question for you, Scott.
I like Getting In.
I'm going to say Don't Bring Me Down. And this will be a fun one. What is the worst track, Pat?
I would say it's a tie between I'll Love You Forever and She's Moving In with Rico. Both Davy Jones songs. All the Davy Jones songs were fucking awful on this record.
Same question to you, Scott.
Whole Wide World. And She's Moving In with Rico.
It's funny you say what you said, Pat. My two picks were also I'll Love You Forever and She's Moving In with Rico. Those Davy Jones songs were just terrible.
Yeah, just reprehensible pieces
Ugh.
of media. I couldn't give less of a shit about the fucking Monkees.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not really our generation, and like I have no context of what a good Monkees record is supposed to sound like.
Yeah, that's really all it comes down to in the end. It's just like, yeah, this album is bad, but who gives a shit?
A good Monkees album is supposed to sound like the Beatles.
Did they actually get one of those?
No.
Well,
Did they
And there you
actually
go.
get a The Beatles?
did you get a the Beatles? Did you get a the Beatles? No.
No Beatles?
No. The Beatles.
Okay, so I did watch the biography fake movie from VH1 when it first came out.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got beat by the Beatles for the Yellow Submarine soundtrack. Isn't that an album about drugs? Like, that's a line in the movie.
Wow. They're really pulling out all the like.
Someone got fives of
it's
dollars to
1960
write that line.
Guys, I know it's 1966, the peak year for bubblegum pop. It's like they're pulling all of the sort of walk hard steps, except there's no irony to it whatsoever.
Oh yeah, that just hanging hats left and right.
I wish that they had a comeback that was big and like they got into grunge, because I would love to see the MTV Unplugged with the Monkees.
Oh, God.
And he's wearing Kurt Cobain's green sweater cardigan.
They do a cover of Creep, the Stone Temple Pilots song Creep. Not the Radiohead song. That's not grunge.
The TLC's creep.
The man I used to be. Because I'm tiny, you see.
Honestly, they should have replaced Michael Nesmith with Dudley Moore. So it's my twin brother, Dudley Moore. What are you doing? I'm so funny.
I don't know if that would have been better, but it at least would have been distracting.
When you get caught between the moon and New York City.
Oh, boy. Thank you very much
Yes,
for being on the
thank you.
program,
Oh.
Scott. It's always a pleasure when you're
No
on.
problem, guys.
What? Plug time.
I have a podcast called Writer's Bagel Basket. I have had fantastic guests like you both.
Yay.
And I am making you do it again.
Yay.
And we just did That Thing You Do with Rock Candy, who was on the previous episode, so this is weird. It's weird, like all the evolution.
Yeah, we're all becoming one
Yep.
right now.
We're a hive mind.
Yeah.
We're all just becoming one big overmind.
So yeah, you can find the podcast anywhere where fine podcasts are not sold.
Only fine podcasts, though.
Yeah. Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, other things like Google,
Zune.
Zune,
Oh Jesus.
Betamax, Blockbuster Video.
Wax cylinders.
And yeah, we're on Twitter at WRTRBAGELBSKT and Writer's Bagel Basket on Instagram.
Fantastic. You got anything to plug coming up, Pat?
Nah, not this time.
No?
I mean, I'll do it on the next episode. I don't care.
I guess I really don't either.
All right. Well, fuck it.
Well, you
Fuck
I guess
everything.
go listen to other Zero Science podcasts.
Oh yeah, go check out other Zero Science podcasts.
Go check out Old Man Yell at Cloud, Clamshell Case Files, and I guess Jim's Dumb Thing.
Yeah.
is that a podcast?
Maybe it should be.
Oh, Jibby.
We're going to have to pitch that to him in the Slack chat tomorrow.
Jim's dumb thing.
And that does it. Our theme song is Sunny Day by the band Froggy and the Friendship. You can check them out at froggyandthefriendship.bandcamp.com. If you have an album you'd like to suggest for us to review or would just like to leave us some feedback or a comment, email us at jukeboxzerospodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search for Jukebox Zeros Podcast. You can find us, rate us, review us, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify, or check out our archive main page at Spreaker.com/show. Try that again. At Spreaker.com/show/jukebox-zeros. Jukebox Zeros is a production of the Zero Science Network. For more great podcasts, go check out zeroscience.com. Sorry, zero-science.com. And that about does it for Jukebox Zeros. I am Lil.
And I'm Patrick.
And remember,
Zero Science.